Hello and welcome. Today we are going to go ahead and take a look at the Rhea. So the Rhea is a Class C exploration ship, and it is designed to go ahead and travel anywhere um, and accomplish anything that you want. So, like all of my Explorer class ships, this is a ship that is restricted to Starship Design Rank 2 or less, which means that you should be able to put this together somewhere between levels 20 and 40. Um, Additionally, the restrictions for the exploration class ships are it has to have an armory, a science lab, an infirmary, a cargo hold, and then space for, four more crew members. Um, so this particular ship, I decided to make a Class C ship, mostly just because with Starship Design Rank 2, the Class B reactors are weaker than the Class A ones, but I still wanted the Class B engines to maintain my maneuverability. Um, so now that we've looked at it a little bit, let's go ahead and take an interior tour. So you see I've got the Hope landing bay offset on one of the sides. And then, as usual for my ships, we board directly into the armory. Coming forward, we have our infirmary in case anybody is injured. Coming back, we can immediately go down and we end up into, I don't remember if this is the Stroud or the Deimos cargo hold. Basically, right over there is where our landing bay is. And then here, right next to it, we have our science lab. Now, I will say that if you want just pure gameplay mechanics, you swap the science lab here out for a workshop, and you will have everything that you need. Ah. Then we have a door right here. And this is leading into a little companionway. You can see we've got the docker up here, the cockpit, which is one of the Viking cockpits, located right over here. And then down, we have a Tayo engineering bay. So this is the 3x1 engineering bay. Coming back up, because who uses ladders? We open this door and we find ourselves in a, I believe this is the Deimos 2x1 all-in-one berth. You could just as easily turn this into the Stroud and it would be basically identical. Forward of this, we have yet another 2x1 berth. So that's 8 beds so far. And coming down here, we find ourselves in the Tayo 2x2 all-in-one. You can see we've got a bathroom right here. Here's the main galley for the ship. Right over here, we have a door, and there's another 4 beds right here. And then we have this door here, which is leading us into the Nova Galactic 2x2 living quarters hab. You can see there's another 2 beds tucked in on the wall right over here, with a little curtain that can come down, looks like. A nice big screen TV with some couches for relaxing. The all-important pool table. Small little galley for, microwave and, more importantly, the coffee machine. And then, as mentioned, a bathroom. So, that is the ship. Let's go ahead and take a look at how to build it. And then, Afterwards, we will go see how it performs out in Serpentis. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and get my colors in my palette. You can see I went with a green and blue color scheme. There we go. And then select all and delete. Alright, so I am making use of the ship flip glitch for this ship, but you do not need any mods to build it. However, to make my life easier, I am making use of a mod that unlocks all the ship parts out my outpost landing pad. If you are not using something like that, then you just will need to travel around a little bit to get those 2x2s. Alright, so we're going to start out with the Hope 4 landing bay. Then we are going to go ahead and grab the Deimos armory. And then in front of that, we're going to go ahead and grab the Deimos infirmary. Note, if you would like a different manufacturer for these, swap them out. Then we're going to grab the 2x2 Deimos cargo hull. And then right here, we are going to go ahead and grab the Deimos science lab. And that is the right-hand side of the ship. Next, coming off the front of the armory, we are going to go ahead and grab the Deimos companionway. I will note here that my heavy use of Deimos with these parts is more because they are at the top of the list than necessarily because I think they're the best. Alright, next up, in front of this companionway, we are going to go ahead and grab our cockpit. And this is just whatever the best Viking cockpit you can get is. You can see that tucks in directly next to the infirmary. While we're over here, we might as well grab the docker that goes on top, and I'm using the 100 DP docker. So this is not the slim, this is the full docker that takes an entire piece. Note here, if you wanted to, you could also use the NG2 docker if you want a more Nova Galactic appearance. Next, we're going to come to the underside of this, and we're going to go on over to the Habs and scroll all the way to the bottom. And then we are going to go ahead and grab the Tile Engineering Bay 3x1 bottom A. Now it's important that we grab the bottom A because it does not have the side connection points, and this is how we guarantee that we're going to have the door coming through this companionway and not some maze that snakes through the cargo holds. Then, coming on over here, we are going to go ahead and grab Deimos all-in-one berth. And then we're going to grab a Deimos all-in-one berth. And then we are going to come down here and we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom again. And now we're going to go ahead and grab the Tile bottom B. Oh, looks like I need to select it separately because it wants to put the ladder in right there. And then in front of that, we are going to go ahead and grab the Nova Galactic 2x2. And this one is going to be the living quarters, because I still love that pool table. Alright, this is the habitable portions of this ship. So, what are we going to do from here? The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to come on over to our reactors, and I'm going to grab the Fuser DC402 reactor. This provides 34 power. That's the most that you can get out of a reactor with Starship Design Rank 2. Then, right behind it, I'm going to go ahead and grab my grav drive. For this ship, I ended up using the R4000 Alpha grav drive. Yes, this is the Class A grav drive. Why the Class A? Because that's all I needed. So this ship ends up only needing that 27 grav jump thrust. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and grab my landing gear, because I'm literally sitting right here. So I'm using 3 Hope 6 front, middle, and back on each side. Just like so. Next up, I'm going to need to go ahead and grab some structural pieces. Let's start with the front of the ship. And I'm going to start with Deimos bellies. I have 4 Deimos bellies, 2 on the front of the living quarters, 1 on the front of the science lab, and then 1 on the front of the engineering bay. Note there's 2 weapon mounts at the bottom of this Viking cockpit. Those are left uncovered. Next, because I'm here anyways, let's go ahead and toss these Deimos braking engines on. Then, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Deimos cowling. I'm going to shift that over. And then I'm going to come on over to the shields, and I'm going to grab the best shield that I can get. Limiting myself to Starship Design Rank 2 and not using Vanguard, that's going to be the Odin 3040C. And then I just tuck that in under the cowling. Alrighty. Next up, let me come on over here to the cargo. And for this ship, I am using 2 30T hull cargos. One here, and one right here. Alright. Then, let me go ahead and go back to my structural pieces. I've got one more Deimos belly, which is going to go on the back of this engineering bay. And then I will come back to that in just a second. Alright, next up, I am going to come on down to the Stroud pieces. And I want the Stroud Cap A. So I'm putting a Stroud Cap A in front and behind each of these hollow cargoes. Then I'm going to go ahead and take and put another Stroud Cap A behind each of the 2x1s. Just like so. Actually, no, it wasn't Stroud Cap A's here. It was the Stroud Cap C's back here. There we go. Now you could make them the Cap A's, but, you know, whatever. Alright, on the inside of these Cap C's, I'm going to go ahead and select that point. Then I'm going to come on over to the fuel tanks, and I'm going to grab an H30 Atlas HE3 tank. This gives me 400 grav jump thrust. And I stuck 2 of these on. We're going places. Next up, let me go ahead and grab my engines. So for this ship, I decided to go with 3 of the SAE 5330 engines. Place one on top of that belly, and then one beneath each of the Stroud Cap afts. So I used just 3 of these, and as you can see right now, they've got 77 mobility. That will drop a little bit more, but we still will be in the 70s. I will note that originally I had been using the Supernova 2000s, 3 of them on this ship. Then I switched on over to the SAE 5330s, and my mobility went up. Yeah. Basically, the Supernovas are just too much mass for the amount of thrust and maneuvering thrust they provide. Continuing on, I'm going to take another one of these Stroud Cap C's, and then I'm going to duplication glitch it down to cover that alpha grav drive and cover the top of the middle engine. Then we're going to come back on over to the structural tab, and we are going to start with the Deimos Spine A's. And then behind that, we are going to put a Deimos Spine C, and then a Deimos Spine C aft. And then, looks like we're capping the back of this with another Spine A. Just like so. Then, finally, I'm going to come on down here to the Nova Galactic parts, and I'm going to grab some Nova Cowlings. I have a front, middle, and back of these little side attaching ones. Flip it into place, and that one just fits. Now, for these middle ones, you could go ahead and use the M20 Ulysses tanks instead. However, since I already had 800 fuel, I saw no reason to go ahead and grab that too. Alrighty then. So this is basically the ship sans weapons. Let's go ahead now. Oh, too many modules. Okay. And I'm going to duplication glitch that off to the side. And with this next one, I'm going to go ahead and show what you can do if you want to, say, make it a Class A ship. And just finish putting these pieces back. Alright, so you can see this is what I have for the Class C. Um, of the things that I cannot keep if I go to Class A, I need to get rid of the shield, I need to get rid of the engines, and then probably drop the fuel tanks. At this point, if I go ahead also and get rid of these 30T cargo holds, I end up with a ship that does not require Starship design. So what would I do instead? Let's go ahead and still keep the Docker and cowling. And then what I will do here is I'm going to go ahead and place a reactor. And here I'll just grab the 134mm to demonstrate that you can do it without any mix of Starship design. For the grav drives, we'll grab the R3000. Then we will go ahead and put the Stroud cap there. And then let's see here. So this space here, we could go ahead and stick, either some cargo or a Deimos hull or whatever we want. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it empty and just hide the shield under here, which is going to be the deflector SG-30. Over here, I'm just going to toss on the Stormax 50 cargo holds. And we will go ahead and Keep using those Nova cowlings up top. Come on, copy. But for fuel on this one, we will go back and grab those M30 Ulysses HE3 tanks. And then finally, we will look at the engines. Without Starship design, I'm kind of stuck on engines, and we're going to end up using the Ammon 3s. So I'm sticking 3 of those on, and then I will demonstrate what this looks like. So, ships fully assembled. Taking a look again without weapons for the Starship design rank 2 Class C ship. We have this over here with 73 mobility, 2280 cargo, and 995 shield. Without Starship design and being stuck using these Ammon engines, our mobility drops drastically. Though we could go ahead and toss some more on, but now we've got insufficient jump range. So this isn't the best ship to run without Starship design. However, if you do have Starship design, even just rank 1, we can go ahead and grab this SA 4110, and 3 of these gives us 90 mobility. So just that one rank is a huge impact. Also, the Ammon engines suck. Anyways, so if you do like this ship, but you want to run a Class A variation of it, I would wait until you have Starship design, or I would find a ship like, one of the various Veyroon ships, and, get the free SA 4110 engines. Whatever works for you. Because as you can see, the rest of this is pretty easily available basically anywhere. It's just these engines that you would have to steal from something. So, let's go ahead and go back to that C-class variation. There we go. And now I'm going to demonstrate my weapon loadout. Alrighty. So first things first is I went ahead and grabbed, why this is supposed to be the Ravager 20s, not the Vaporizer 35s. Okay. Misclick. Not that I worry too much with my credit score. Alright, so I've got 3 of the Class A auto electron beams. Then for the Class B, I grabbed 3 more of the Eradicator 75s. Again, this is the auto electron beams. And then when we scroll on down to Class C, I went ahead and grabbed 4 PB300 auto alpha beams. And we just stick those on the landing gear and under the cockpit. Alrighty, there we have it. Now, for this ship, I would still recommend going with the particle beams, and not going with a what's called like laser and ballistic loadout, unless you are using mods or are not playing on extreme difficulty. That would work too. But you can use whatever weapons that you would like, whether this is, full power sets of auto beams, or, see, we've got 34, 14, about 16 power that we can apply to weapons. So you could just go ahead and do two sets of, say, like the Obliterator 250s or the DB300s, or maybe do something like the Obliterator 250s plus the Eradicator 75s. Um, just kind of whatever you would want to go. Alrighty, so let's go ahead. Boom, boom. There we go. Boom and boom. Alrighty. And I forgot to paint my ship. Oops. If you do end up doing that, as long as you have not left the ship designer yet, your colors will still be in your palette. There we go. Now then, let's go take this baby out for a spin. Alright. So, power is where I want it. Let's go ahead and drop power to the engines. And now we're going to come on out to Serpentis. Reapply power to those engines. We Alright, that's one down. Alright. Come on. Alright, so as you can see, still not a brawling ship. I don't think that you can really get a good brawling ship until you get Starship Design Rank 4. It's not with... Ah! There we go. I should say, at least not if you are on extreme difficulty. Alright. So, let's go ahead and show how you can easily win, though. To drop my speed to about 120, and then see who catches up to me first. The Eulogy 3. Alright. Go ahead and dive in now. Whee! Alright. Oop! Those revelations hit hard. Oh, come on. Alright, so let's again drop down to about 120. Alright, so that's one down. And without messing things up this time, how are they not catching up to me? Do I need to slow down for them even more? Apparently the answer to that is yes. Yes, indeed I do. Alright, slowing down to 99 speed. They have to be able to catch me now, right? Almost like they're trying to play smart, which is disturbing. There we go. We're barely touching them now. Now they have to come closer, right? I'm still wondering why they are not catching up to me. Critically hit the crew, so I took some of them out. Alright, fine. Alright. Come here. Alright. There we go. Alright, so as you can see, the ship is not something that you can really go ahead and just dive in for a brawl with on extreme difficulty. However, we still are able to go ahead and perform our usual kiting maneuvers, where we just stay out of their range and blast them from our range. Um, this tends to be the most effective way that I have found to play um, in any way on extreme difficulty. Though, if you lower the difficulty level of your game, you can get away with a whole lot more. This is also why I find the particle weapons are the best, just because it allows you to go ahead and do that kiting with that range. So, all that being said, if you've watched all the way to the end, once again, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. And otherwise, I will see you in the next one.